I'm Kent.
This is Renee Miller, and we together are bringing you our next predictions in our series.
Predictions.
Predictions. And this is Predictions Part 12. And this was given to us while Kent was in deep meditation. This particular one is directly given by an ancient who is an ancient teacher, preceptor of the Creator. And it's to forewarn us about coming events so that we can prepare, so that we understand what's going on. And it gives us some clarity. Anything else?
These items that will be given here, I received in June of 2007. And these were for future events, which could now be taking place.
And some of them have already taken place. So what we're going to do is...
But they may be coming.
Right. Well, we'll get to it. We're going to switch this over, share our screen, and go to a PowerPoint. And so, again, Part 12, and that's taken out of June 2007.
There's a whole lot of blackness I saw. It is so dark, it almost looked like a void. Then I saw war. And first I thought the whole Pacific Fleet was hit. And it said, no, this fleet came from the Pacific. And so it's from the Pacific. And a whole lot of people are going to die. And it said Syria is going to hit our warships. And I'm thinking Syria happened. The war in Syria has already happened. But is it over? Because Iran, Russia, Syria, I don't think this skirmish is over. But remember one thing, the predictions can change as far as man is concerned, but not change as far as the earth is concerned.
So these predictions concerning man are dependent on decisions that man makes, and man is a very unpredictable character. So
I had gotten September, and I hadn't gotten this again in June 2007, September 2008, going to be a dark month. And we remember the upheaval, the markets, everything fell or really began to show up dramatically in the month of September in 2008.
And so aside from the economy, which Kent is referring to, and that crash of September 2008, which this is what I was referring to, has already occurred. They're talking about congressional upheaval, and that Congress has lost its sense of abilities or sensibilities, one or the other. I don't think you were quite clear as to how you were hearing that. And that Congress is too busy fighting
amongst each other.
And amongst each other, the unification is gone, and that is going to lead to an opportunity for a foothold where others are going to grab control. And because there is no unity, it's a perfect environment for that to happen. So they continue on to say that it's not necessarily a part of our government. It's something from outside of our country and
of our government,
outside of our government, that's going to
these people
grab control of what's going on within our government, right?
That's right. The turmoil is really going to abound. That's the beginning. Their arrogance is going to pay off. And it said the holster is now empty.
So what is a metaphor, if you were using holster as a metaphor, how would you interpret
I'm
that?
thinking like a holster for arrows and a bow and arrows. And
so more like ammunition.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So they're running out of their ammunition, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
And that arrogance that they've had is going to pay off in
a short term,
some sort of way.
Yeah, short term payoff. So,
or is it being cynical?
Well, it could be,
because now they're running out of their ammunition. They've been arrogant all this time. They're running out of ammunition. And are the guys being this ancient being saying that their arrogance is going to pay off? He's saying it in a cynical way.
And look what's happening now. All their arrogance during this period of time, and now they've used all their ammunition.
And they're running out of ammunition. Right. They're running out of excuses and out of
no more arrows.
Yeah, whatever they're using to deceive or.
And back then it said it was going to be very hot in the summer, going to be a lot of tension. So the summer creates heat in the cities, which creates tension among those living in the cities. The inner cities are going to become extremely over tension.
So the inner cities will be most affected.
Yes.
Okay.
People will start blaming each other. And we can already start to see this. The government and everything is becomes dysfunctional in the U.S. It's open then for invasion of those outside of our country. And
do you get the sense that that's like a military type of invasion, or just a kind of maybe a subtle invasion, kind of sneaking in through the back door, so to speak?
I don't know. We're going to have to see.
Okay. So things are not what they seem, is what this ancient is telling us, that there are a lot of illusions, and like the planetary illusions in the sky is what he's referring to.
And science thinks they have the answer to the skies outside of Earth. They write papers, think they have the answers, and then somebody says, no, you're wrong, and they show them they're wrong. And it's causing dissension even in the science community.
So we're not really sure what this means about the planetary illusions in the sky.
The illusion is not the real.
Yes, it's we're being deceived somehow, or our eyes are deceiving us. It says when you look at the stars, you're going to see things that are not really there.
A lot of illusion.
A lot of illusions. Now, is this our eyes deceiving ourselves, or is it something that is external to ourselves? That we're misinterpreting? We don't know.
No, we have to find out.
Okay. So people are going to be very confused.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we don't always know what these predictions mean until it happens. So not until that point will it seem clear.
But simplicity is the key to understanding and truth.
Right. So they're telling us to keep it simple. Don't overreact. It's not what it seems. And that we're probably not going to understand it. And that confusion is going to add to the problem. So don't get sucked into the overreaction as a result of it.
So man has been warned over and over, but humanity does not listen. I saw many severe storms, really severe storms. Opulent behavior triggers the behavior of the one that is opulent. Unfortunate consequences.
So we had a little discussion about this because the way it was dictated, and this is presented exactly the way it was dictated to us. Opulent behavior triggers behavior, and we're assuming leads to unfortunate consequences. And so we had a little discussion about what does this mean, and what did you say?
Well, we looked it up in the dictionary.
So opulent
what is
behavior,
opulent behavior?
opulent has to
Wealth.
do with wealth, riches, and being abundantly supplied with resources.
So when you have opulent behavior, then you have absolutely everything you think that you want or need. It changes your behavior.
So when you think about the rich and what possibly their agendas are, maybe this is what it's indicating. We're going to read on because it might shed a little more light on it further down.
Mm-hmm.
And so
again, where do we turn?
People are going to be saying, where do we turn?
Exactly.
Audaciousness, bold, reckless, a perplexing behavior of idiots. And this is actually a description by an ancient who is at the top of actually the highest vibrational understanding being that teaches. And so they're looking down at what's going on Earth, and even they're saying that there's a lot of idiotic behavior going on.
Yeah, and we said, we warned them. Now it's going to be, in other words, whatever was planned is going to take place.
So let's get back to audacious and the definition of audacious. And that means to be extremely bold, but it also means recklessly bold in the defiance of the law. Now, let's tie that in with the previous here where it says opulent behavior triggers behavior. Do these two go together?
Yes, I think.
So if we have the rich who are abundantly supplied with resources, acting in a recklessly bold defiance of the law. And it seems to make sense when we look at what is going on in our world today. So we're suggesting that that could possibly be the interpretation of what was intended. One person is saying this whole thing is perplexing and disgusting. Why will man do this to himself? So why does man treat his fellow man in this manner? They don't understand it because it's just, it lacks
Respectiveness.
It lacks
respect.
It lacks any sort of anything that makes sense to them outside of this world.
Learning comes in steps. Future is inconsequential movements.
And so what does that mean for me? Just because we have been working with the ancients for this long, and we have the understanding from that accumulation of those experiences. They talk about how one event leads into the next event, and what our learning follows that pattern, right? So when one event happens, what we're supposed to do is to reflect on that event and come to an understanding of it.
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. And so then decisions will come out of that event that will lead to the next event. Each is a step in the learning process. So when we're watching what's going on in our world today, We need to watch each event as it happens and be the truth seeker. Don't depend on others for your understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do your own homework here.
If you can't interpret it, get with another person and you can discuss it. And you'll both come to an interpretation.
So we need to understand each event that happens. The next event will bring more clarity. And it's a part of our awakening process as to the illusions that are going on here in our world today.
Humanity does not put the consequences, the coordination of events in perspective to what the events that are happening, okay? They add rather than taking things as they are told or seen.
Or given, or as the events are presented, people tend to add to the story and to add their perspective, right? Their perception, which may not be aligned to the truth.
It's a perception that they own based on their environment. They need to speak with others to find the truth of that.
And we need to be very neutral in our truth seeking, because when we're polarized in any way, I mean, this could be politically, but it could be in other areas that are not in the political realm. When we're polarized, when we think we already understand it and we're only looking at one perspective, we are negating that part of the picture that exists that is a part of the truth. So therefore, we are not seeing the truth in its entirety.
When they say watch the news carefully, they do not mean watch Fox or CNN or MSNBC or CBS. Watch the news that you get around you and decipher if you're getting truth or if you're getting falsifying information. You have to make that information truthful in your own perception. So you have to talk with others and you have to find out what the truth is. Don't believe everything you see or read.
Because there's a lot of illusions right now. And you have to be able to have your eyes wide open, be questioning and be searching actively for the truth. I would say, if you're going to watch any of the main TV channels, that you not stick to one, but jump around and look at all of them, because each is going to have their spin.
Perception.
They're each going to have their own agenda that they're trying to propagate. But you will see a clearer picture if you're not dedicated to one channel that's going to be brainwashing you. And you can make up your own mind what the truth is.
Yeah. So you have to come together within yourself to understand everything that's going on around you. Once you begin to understand what's going on around you, then you can look out and tell others, I think this might be the truth. And when you say might, because we don't know what the full truth is, we have to hold as close as we can what we think the truth is.
Remember, it's like the onion. We never get to the bottom of the entire truth. But in our search, we're peeling back each layer so that we're gaining a deeper and deeper understanding of the truth all the time. And so we need to stand up and be the truth seeker, stop relying on other people to spoon feed us our understanding or our lack of understanding, and search for the truth ourselves.
Yeah. So we're giving you what we think these things might or might not mean, but you may have a different perspective, and that's fine. We don't expect you to agree with us on everything that we come out with.
And that's why we
begin thinking for yourself.
That's why we give it to you in its original unadulterated language the way that we've received it, so that you can look at it for yourself and you can
Make your own decision.
make your own decisions. And we're not translating it and leaving the original language out so that you only get our interpretation.
So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and we hope that you study this. And if you can, let us know what you think.
So don't forget to subscribe. We also have our lessons taken from the book, The Augmentation of Man, A Study in Renaissance. And you can check out our blog, which does interpret those lessons to help the reader, because it's a difficult read. And that blog can be found on verdience.com. We also have a Facebook page, and that is The Augmentation of Man, A Study in Renaissance, as the book. And we have a new book that will be coming out later this year, and it is going to be the next in the series of The Augmentation of Man. So we will come out with more information about that. And so we hope you've enjoyed this. Again, we wish you peace on your journey to truth. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye now.